Standards-based reform. Position 1. Standards-based reform promises quality education for all students. Standards-based reform is a system developed to provide quality education for all students. It includes academic expectations for all students, aligning educational systems to promote attainment of these expectations, assessment of achievement in regards to the expectations, and accountability for performance. The reform shifts the focus to student outcomes instead of institution inputs. The reform movement has been around for a few decades. Let's look at the timeline. In 1983, a book called A Nation at Risk was published and brought America to harsh realizations about the quality of education and stimulated educational reform movements. In 1989, the Bush Senior Administration released the America 2000 Goals, which consisted of 6 national goals for the educational system and proposed the creation of national standards and voluntary testing on those standards. Clinton came to office in 1992, and this administration supported state development of their own standards, as long as they volunteered to participate in national testing. In 1994, they also added national goals for teacher education and parent involvement to Bush's America's 2000. Not much progress was made until No Child Left Behind Act in 2001. NCLB called for state-developed standardized tests, or standards, aligned with standardized testing. NCLB had an emphasis on progress for all students and called for states to make adequate yearly progress. Progress was to be reported for student groups and not just as an average of all students. Scores broken down by socioeconomic criteria made achievement gaps more noticeable instead of being lost in the averages. This helps schools focus on weak areas and be accountable for equal education of all students. In 2005, data collected by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation showed that nearly 1/3 of all U.S. high school students don't graduate. More recently, data collected by the National Assessment of Education Progress Program showed long-term gains in some areas despite undesirable results in some categories. As a result, the National Governors Association collaborated with teachers, administrators, and college faculty to produce rigorous standards with the success of all students in mind. These are known as the Common Core State Standards. Now, all 46 states have adopted parts or all of the Common Core Standards. The purpose of the standards-based reform is to hold all states accountable for the education of all students, especially in the areas of English language arts and math, which are considered essential for success in higher education and career successes.